Welcome to another episode of Willis Talk. This episode is talking about angels and demons and all their aspects. In science, they will not acknowledge angels or demons in any aspect. It always comes across for the religious. Now, religion, no matter what it is, has some kind of angelic and some kind of demonic presence in them. In this, I'm just calling them angels and demons. I'm not going to get specific. If you want to look up some more, please do. Educate yourself. Think for yourself. May this spawn you to look up information. The angels are always created to do the work of a master deity. No matter what the name is, in my term, I'm going to say God. And the demons were created by God, but for some reason always winds up despising God. And are separated from the deity, God. Then the angels do two parts. They worship and they do God's biddings. Now, for starters, science looks at these creatures and they say there's no way scientifically that they could be existing as is. Well, starters, not to sound stupid, but duh, the deity created them. And let's look at the other aspects. Science, looks at it at what they know now. Well, what they know now is not what they knew yesterday and not what they knew 10 years or 20 or 100 or even a millennium ago. And they also base it on the facts of human, because these things are described as being human-like, human in description. Artists draw them, everything. They've been on tablets. But what's to say these humanoid angels and humanoid demons, are even made up of the same chemical structures as what we are? Stop and think about it. Wings carry their bodies up high. This would indicate that their bodies would have to be lighter than normal. Their strength is immense, so that means their muscles have to be strong, but also their bones, or it would break underneath the extreme tension that the muscles would create around the bone structure. Their skin is always described as something a little bit different than us anyway, so does that not then point that they are made up of something different than you or I? These same rules apply to the demon realm. Now, others may say, well, their angelic and demon abilities allow them to have these things. No. That would be false thinking. That would then say that naturally every demon or angel that was created or born, if they have the capability of breeding, would be born like that, the same. The abilities, though, as we have learned throughout many myths, legends, biblical texts, and other documentations, that each angel and demon has special unique abilities. This would be contributed to their angel and demon powers then. Those abilities. The other things would be attributed to their bodily makeup. Just as you might run faster than me, or I might be able to lift something heavier than you, that is our body makeup, our body structure. Now, in some aspects, some of it could be improved. I could do more cardio, you could do more weightlifting, but still, once it comes down to it, your strength is still going to be running because you've been doing it a lot longer than I have been, and my strength is still going to be being able to lift something because I have muscle memory built up. We move on to now, why? Why would God keep going after he created the angelics? Well, angels in itself, they worship God. The majority of them do. I'll say that. At least in what texts we have. To think that they still all think the same, that would be foolish because, well, look at the Lord of Hell. The devil referred to by most people. Lucifer, Morning Star, many names to refer to evil. But in my Bible, Lucifer had a name, and he tempted God, not just once, a few times. He changed and wound up going down below, serving as a ruler of hell over the demons. Now you got the angel serving God still, but he's ruling hell over the top of the demons. You know, you got these other angels, they're worshiping God. God, you're great. God, you're wonderful. God, you're wise. Oh, God, get God tired of hearing that. Wouldn't you? Just think, wouldn't you? And they have these wild powers, hugely wild powers and abilities. Much like you think about mutants. Now give them atom powers to those mutant abilities. None other than God himself is more powerful than them. Well, all that power, all those other emotions, and a undying worship wasn't exactly what God obviously wasn't looking for. It's not bad. It just means they would take longer to achieve what we will in some aspects. Or perhaps they're not. Maybe they're progressing right along with us. It's just a different kind of history for them. Demons got created around the same time. Demons, they kind of was the other spectrum of the angels. They had powers themselves. They had abilities. But they, instead of having undying love and worship for God, they had disdain and hatred because they weren't in heaven. They had this crap fest. Is the way that most demons always portrayed. They get this worthless piece of ground, worthless everything to rule on. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just not in God's presence. So why are we second rate? Is what the demons thinking, maybe. Why are we second rate? Hmm? Well, you also got the other thing from angels, though. Why the heck do you need to create them when you have us? So you get other things. You got to remember, all these creations have the abilities of all the emotions. Or at least we must presume that they have the abilities for all the emotions that you and I do. Because God gave us them. And in most texts, religious texts of any kind, we are made in God's image. Well, if the demons look similar to us, angels look similar to us, these other creatures, these other beings are looking similar to us that's out there. Vampires, werewolves. Yes, I'm getting out there. But there are some of those in biblical texts, too, in religious texts. In the whole look at things. You have these angels and demons with these same emotions, but they have extraordinary powers where we don't. But we don't retain everything that we have neither. We have a soul, though. Unlike demons, they're soulless. And angels are soul in. Then we are the entire package. We are as close to God in not having extraordinary abilities right now. And I say right now because if I'm right, I'm thinking eventually we will become, not through our lives, but once our life has met a certain degree, then we ascend. But that is a totally different subject. Angels, they're there. They know of God, they've seen God, they've been with God, they have all these powers, but they've got to deal with their emotions and become a higher thing. And demons, they have to do the same thing too. They've met him, seen him. Many died by him, probably. Or her. Not necessarily God is a he or a she. It could be a neutral. Because God's it. It's the beginning. It's the beginning of everything. This spiritual entity that exists wanted friends. Think about that. So he created and kept creating. A wonderful, infinite realm of impossibilities. Impossible to stop. And so many possibilities. Willis out.